Welcome to American Info. This week, a jury helped handle an investigation into former President Donald Trump's search for classified White House documents. In doing so, they helped to restore confidence in our judiciary and our democracy. Former federal judge Raymond J. Dere, hired by Judge Eileen M as a special agent examining classified documents, has proven that Trump's attorneys mistakenly believed Trump was his ally. Instead, he acted quickly to end Trump's procrastination and nonsense. Dere instructed Trump's attorneys to say convincingly whether Trump's team would argue before a judge that the FBI stored documents at his resort town of Mara Lago. Trump said publicly, but not in court, with earlier warnings, that failure to clarify whether Trump would release the documents could challenge the government. Dere has systematically hyped Trump's baseless lawsuits to halt the investigation and his public propaganda campaigns. His attorney will have to decide whether to follow Trump's lies by citing Trump's lies in the lawsuit. I don't think they will. Meanwhile, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which included 2 Trump-appointed judges and 1 Barack Obama-appointed judge, systematically reviewed and rejected a 3-person jury's evaluation of Cannon's classified documents. In the United States, we only address the narrow issues raised by the United States. First, the government must produce confidential documents for special investigations, and second, the commission decides whether the United States uses a subset of these documents in criminal investigations. He concluded, yes, the panel ruled that Cannon did not have equitable jurisdiction, and given the first part of the applicable test, the district court concluded that the plaintiff did not believe the United States violated his constitutional rights. He wrote that this should be the end. But the commission saved Cannon by saying Trump failed every other test. The court went on to say that the plaintiff did not even attempt to prove that he should have known the information contained in the confidential document. There is also no evidence that the current administration has ignored the requirements for these documents. In other words, the commission has found in fact that Cannon acted without any legal or factual basis. Likewise, the plaintiff suggested that he may have declassified these documents when he was president. However, there is no evidence that the recordings were legally released. What does Cannon think? The commission also found that the concept of irreparable harm to Trump, based essentially on the fact that he was a former president, does not exist. Criminal investigations threaten every citizen with potential reputational damage. Your decision is to drop the charges or reinstate them in court. Contrary to Cannon, the 11th Supreme Court ruled that the government would be irreparably harmed by Cannon's order preventing the Justice Department from further investigating possible crimes. Since the department cannot separate national security clearance from criminal investigations, Cannon had no reason to ignore it. Where Cannon's abolished justice, the 11 mistakes changed it. He reiterated the idea that Trump is no different from a potential defendant and that the courts cannot facilitate his adventures by creating conflict where law and fact do not exist. The objective reality is taken into account. The law is important. Perhaps Trump's lies and false statements will not defend him in court. Maybe he is responsible for his actions. Then these judges will undo some of the damage his lawlessness has done to our democracy. For that we can say great work.